When Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the stage, she didn't just perform, she commanded attention. At only 13 years old, her raw, soulful voice delivered an intensity far beyond her years. Every note carried emotion. Every movement on stage radiated confidence, and her presence was electrifying. Audiences were captivated not just by her vocal ability, but by the authenticity and fearlessness she projected. It was a performance that transcended the typical audition, creating a moment that would linger in viewers' minds. The response was immediate. Gasps, cheers, and wide-eyed amazement swept the theater. Within hours, clips of her performance were spreading across social media, gaining millions of views. For many, Courtney wasn't merely a contestant, she was a revelation, a reminder that talent this extraordinary can appear at any age, unannounced yet impossible to ignore. From that moment, her life began to change forever. Global reaction, awe, praise, and instant fame. Courtney's audition resonated far beyond the theater. Social media lit up with admiration as people from around the world celebrated her unique voice. Comments ranged from awe to proclamations of future stardom, creating a whirlwind of attention that most teenagers could scarcely imagine. What set her apart wasn't just technical skill, it was her authenticity. Unlike many performers who mimic industry trends, Courtney's delivery felt instinctive, born of raw emotion rather than training or polish. Yet, alongside the praise came pressure. Overnight, a 13-year-old became a public figure, scrutinized by millions. While the applause elevated her, it also introduced her to the harsh realities of public attention. Not everyone responded with kindness. Some viewers criticized her performance, questioning her technique or intentions. The internet's reach was both thrilling and overwhelming, transforming a life-changing opportunity into a test of resilience at an age when most children were still discovering themselves. The judge who believed Simon Cowell's recognition among the panel of judges, one reaction stood out. Simon Cowell, known for his discerning eye and often unforgiving critiques, saw something extraordinary in Courtney. He didn't view her merely as a talented young girl. He recognized a performer with the potential to change the music world. Her voice, stage presence, and fearless energy reminded him of the rare artists who defy trends and expectations. Simon's reaction was unusually emotional, reflecting genuine admiration and belief. He wasn't simply praising her. He was acknowledging the arrival of a once-in-a-generation talent. His encouragement carried weight, signaling to the world that Courtney wasn't just another audition sensation. She was someone to watch, someone who could leave a lasting mark. Yet, even with such recognition, the pressures of sudden fame loomed large. Simon could foresee the path ahead would be filled with challenges, as the intensity of public attention can be as damaging as it is rewarding. The backlash begins. Cruelty. Behind the spotlight, fame, especially viral fame, is rarely uncomplicated. While millions celebrated Courtney, a growing number of critics attacked her relentlessly. The comments shifted from casual criticism to outright cruelty. Some claimed she was too intense or over the top, while others questioned her authenticity. Even her appearance and stage persona were scrutinized. Online trolls began to spread negativity, and the harassment extended beyond social media. At school, classmates who had watched her performance teased her, making daily life difficult. Her family felt the strain as well, watching a young girl navigate public scrutiny far beyond her years. The very platform that had amplified her talent became a source of stress and anxiety. For a teenager, this was not a normal challenge. It was a storm of attention and judgment that could feel impossible to escape. What had started as a celebration of talent was rapidly becoming a trial of resilience, the dark side of viral fame. As the backlash intensified, Courtney experienced the darker realities of internet fame. Some of the criticism escalated into harassment, with threats directed at her that no child should endure. The constant exposure to negativity began to impact her sense of safety and well-being. Her voice, which had once been her strength and joy, started to feel like a source of pressure and fear. The emotional toll on her family was significant. Her parents attempted to shield her while encouraging her to focus on the positives, but the overwhelming attention left its mark. For a young teenager, the experience was both isolating and frightening. Viral fame had provided an extraordinary opportunity, but it also exposed her to unprecedented emotional strain. Suddenly, the gift of talent came with a heavy burden, forcing Courtney to navigate a world that admired her and attacked her in equal measure. Mental health struggles, fear, and isolation. The pressure eventually took a toll on Courtney's mental health. She began withdrawing from public engagement, avoiding social media, and retreating from fan interactions. Her confidence, once so fearless, faltered under the weight of judgment and threats. The very act of singing became stressful as she feared failure or criticism. Thoughts of harming her vocal cords emerged as a coping mechanism, a heartbreaking indicator of the intensity of her inner struggle. The mental strain was profound, altering her relationship with her passion. Where singing had once been a source of joy, it became a source of anxiety. Family members watched helplessly as the young performer wrestled with fear and self-doubt. For someone so gifted, the psychological burden of early fame revealed a difficult truth. Raw talent can be both a blessing and a vulnerability, especially when thrust into public scrutiny at such a tender age. Simon Cowell's heartbreak. Watching Courtney struggle was deeply affecting for Simon Cowell. He had recognized her potential from the very beginning and now saw how cruel exposure to fame could be. For him, it wasn't only disappointment, it was heartbreak. He understood the fragility of extraordinary talent when faced with the harsh judgment of the public. Seeing a young girl forced to retreat because of online cruelty underscored the human cost behind the spectacle of reality entertainment. Simon's emotional response reflected not only his personal connection to the artist he mentors, but also the weight of witnessing someone with once-in-a-lifetime talent falter under pressure. It was a reminder that while the music industry celebrates success, it can also amplify vulnerability, particularly for young artists. For Courtney, Simon's support remained a quiet anchor in a world that suddenly felt overwhelming. The turning point, reclaiming strength. After stepping away from the spotlight, Courtney began a slow but determined recovery. She shifted her focus from criticism to positivity, learning to separate her self-worth from online opinions. Over time, she began to rediscover her love for music, not as a platform for fame, but as an outlet for expression. The critical moment came when she chose to stop allowing the internet to dictate her life. This decision marked the beginning of a new relationship with her talent, one rooted in personal fulfillment rather than external validation. She gradually regained confidence, approaching her music as a young artist with a vision and a voice of her own. Recovery wasn't immediate, but it was powerful. By prioritizing mental health and embracing her authenticity, Courtney reclaimed control over her career and life, proving that resilience can grow even from the harshest experiences. Navigating the music industry, finding her voice. Returning to the industry was not without challenges. Courtney's style didn't conform to standard pop expectations, and she often encountered pressure to compromise her identity. Writing sessions felt forced, and previous attempts to fit her into a formula left her feeling misrepresented. Change came when she connected with producer Kevin Bowe, who encouraged her to embrace deeply personal songwriting. The music became a reflection of her true self, allowing her to reclaim not just her voice, but her artistic identity. This creative freedom was transformative. It reinforced the understanding that authenticity and art can coexist with industry success. Courtney's journey highlighted the difficulties young artists face in an industry that often prioritizes marketability over individuality. By finding collaborators who supported her vision, she began to carve out a space where her voice could thrive authentically. The comeback, independence, and artistic growth. In 2023, Courtney officially returned with renewed purpose. Choosing independence allowed her full control over her music, rejecting prior constraints and expectations. Her first independent single, Breakable, marked a bold re-entry, showcasing her growth as both a vocalist and songwriter. A follow-up, That Girl Don't Live Here, solidified her identity as a mature artist, blending elements of jazz, rock, and soulful pop. Her lyrics reflected resilience, introspection, and self-determination. Fans noticed the transformation immediately. She was no longer the teenage sensation judged by strangers, but an artist expressing herself with honesty and conviction. Independence became a powerful tool, allowing her to define her career on her terms. The comeback wasn't merely a return to music. It was a statement demonstrating that authentic artistry can emerge even after public scrutiny and personal struggle. Live performances, reclaiming the stage. Courtney's resurgence extended beyond the studio. In 2024, she performed at Carnegie Hall, a prestigious milestone that underscored her growing recognition. She also returned to the UK stage, reconnecting with early fans at intimate shows. These performances symbolized more than musical success. They represented courage and reclamation of her passion. In 2025, she announced a headline tour across major UK cities, including London, Birmingham, and Manchester, proving she was ready to embrace her platform fully. On stage, her presence reflected both maturity and resilience, turning past fears into strength. Live performances became a space to celebrate her artistry without compromise, reminding audiences of the talent Simon Cowell had once predicted. Through these shows, Courtney not only entertained, but also demonstrated the triumph of perseverance, reclaiming the spotlight on her own terms. Conclusion: the legacy of courage. Courtney Hadwin's journey exemplifies both the fragility of early fame and the resilience of the human spirit. From a 13-year-old who astonished audiences to a young woman confronting online hate and personal doubt, she endured challenges that could have ended her career before it truly began. Yet, through reflection, independence, and authentic artistry, she reclaimed her voice and her power. The story is not just about viral fame. It is about courage, recovery, and the determination to remain true to oneself. Courtney's evolution reminds us that talent is only part of the equation. Resilience and self-belief shape a lasting career. Today, she stands as a testament to the strength of young artists facing extraordinary pressures. For the world, she is no longer just a performer. She is a rare, fearless talent, ready to define her own path.